Okay, hello everyone. Sorry for the delay. We're just going to let people sign in. There's a bit of a technical issue to start the class. So we're just going to start a couple minutes late. I've got a weird blur on my screen. Okay, so it's nice and warm. Sticky, muggy, I think you would describe it. Hopefully you're not too hot where you are. But yeah, it's super sticky. I've got some windows open and I should have got a fan, but hey, we'll just live with it for now. So I hope everyone's feeling fit and well. Probably this heat's making us all a bit tired as well, so we won't do anything too crazy today, but I think let's just move our bodies and just give ourselves a little bit of work, but we won't be going too crazy. Okay, so we're a few minutes late, we're 3 minutes late, but not to worry, we're still finishing on time, so I do have to leave at 1:15 to go to another meeting, so let's make it short and sharp. Okay, so bring ourselves onto all fours to start with today. Do a bit of a flip over. Okay, so we're going to start off on all fours, hands underneath shoulders and knees directly underneath the hips. So we're just going to start off with a nice stretch. Let's be nice and kind to our bodies today. Okay, so spread the fingers nice and wide, soften the elbows slightly, push up into the shoulders and get a nice straight back to start with, lifting the belly in and up nice and strong. Okay, then we're going to just drop our head down and then draw the belly up even more to round the spine as we exhale, pushing up high into the shoulders and trying to kind of tuck your tailbone slightly under. And then we're going to inhale and take it the other way. So we're going to drop the belly down, look up, draw the shoulder blades back into your back pockets. Let's do that 2 more times. Slow and gentle exhale, draw the belly in and up, around the spine, and inhale. 1 more time, exhale. Draw those abdominal muscles in and up as high as you can, and then inhale. So let's stay in this position here, lifting the tailbone up high, arching the lower back, and looking up towards the wall that's in front of you. So your eye line's nice and straight. Then we're going to just bring our spine to a flat back position. So our head automatically comes down towards the mat to keep our neck nice and long and in line with that spine. Then we're going to tuck our toes under. So make sure you've got a nice wide spread of the fingers here. So we're going to use our arms and our core muscles to lift our knees just an inch off of the floor. Okay, so what I want you to think about doing is lifting the belly in and up and just lifting the knees up. So you're pushing kind of up and back slightly rather than putting all of the weight into your shoulders. So we're just going to hold here for a couple of breaths. Should start to feel it in the lower abdominals, maybe a little bit in your legs and your quads, and then just place it down, relax. We're going to do that 3 more times. So keep breathing normally as you lift up, inhaling and exhaling. We need to be able to breathe normally as we hold a bit of tension in our abdominal muscles. I'm a little bit higher than an inch, I know, back down slightly. And then lower. Oh, my knees are burning. Okay, 2 more, lift it up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. If you need to, just rotate the wrist just before the last one. My wrists feel a little bit stiff today. Okay, 1 last time. Let's lift it up and hold just an inch. 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees down and just sit back and rotate the wrists. Okay, we're going to have a little stretch for the side body now. It's quite an unusual stretch, but it's an effective one. So first of all, I just want you to relax your left foot down and lift your right foot up. So you're just bent at the knee there. And then all you're going to do is just take your foot out to the side and turn and face kind of your foot. So look at your foot. So you should feel the stretch. If you're doing your right leg, you should feel the stretch in your left side. Then you're just going to turn and take the foot over to the other side, so the left side, and then look towards your foot on the left side. And then we're just going to slowly and gently flick between the 2. Good, another one. 2 more times. So it's a really kind of small movement, but it's a really effective stretch. Let's do 1 more each side for luck, so we do 4 each leg. I really like the feel of this, because you kind of really feel it in the ribs, and that's an area that we don't stretch very often. So let's try it on the other side. Bend the knee and just lift the foot up of the left leg. Okay, look out to the left first, and then to the right. So inhaling and exhaling for each part of the move. Try and keep the elbows slightly soft, but shoulders nice and strong, head lifted. And as usual, I've lost count, so let's just do one more each side. You're not a Pilates teacher if you don't lose count. Okay, and then bring the foot down. Let's just sit back into child's pose. So you can either have your arms forward, head towards the floor, or you can have your hands back towards your feet, if that's more relaxing for your shoulders. If you've got quite tight shoulders, then having your arms forward is not always great. So just breathe here, relax, a couple of big deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves around now so that we're on our back. So our feet are flat on the floor, hip distance, knees are bent, and just relax the head and the shoulders down. Oh, feels nice. So first thing we're going to do is just bring some awareness to our arms and our upper abdominals. So we're just going to move our arms around a little bit just to mobilize the shoulders, and then we're going to start doing some chest lifts with an arm movement. Okay, so first, keeping the head and shoulders down, we're just going to take the arms up above the head on an inhale, drawing the belly in and up and not letting the back arch. So keeping it tucked in, drawing those abdominals down, and then exhaling, sweeping the arms along on the outside of you in a kind of semicircle. So inhale up, exhale, sweep them around. Inhale up above the head, stretch, and then exhale, sweep them around. I'm going to move down slightly, give myself a little bit more room. Inhale, stretch long, exhale, sweep, that's better. And one more this way, and then we're going to take the arms the other way. Okay, so we're going to inhale, semicircle, sweep up towards above the head, and then exhale, hands come back to hips. Good. 3 more. Inhale, enjoy this moment. Oh, it feels so nice on the shoulders. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and then exhale, draw the hands back towards the hips. Perfect. Okay, so let's just do a little single leg stretch first. So I want you to just pull your left knee in. Let's just hold on to the shin for now. And we're going to lift our head and our shoulders up using our abdominals, so we're not relying too much on the leg. And the right leg is just going to stay bent for this one. So it's a little bit of a deconstructed single leg stretch. So what we're going to do is hug in, and then as we inhale, we're going to reach the leg out almost to the floor and then back in. So nothing else is changing in my body, just my arms and the leg coming in. Everything else is staying super still. The head stays lifted all the way through, and your torso is super, super still. Let's do 4 more. Inhale. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to do a similar thing. So we're going to take our leg out, stretch it out, and then lift it up to 90 degrees, bring it back down, and hug it in. We're staying on this left side for quite some time. Good, keep it going. If your neck starts to bother you for any reason, do the same leg movement, but just take the head down to the floor. So it's exactly the same. Hug in, stretch out, lift to 90, lower down. Hug in, stretch, lift, and lower. Let's do 3. Try and keep the right side of the body really still. Whew, okay, I said I wasn't going to work too hard today, but I'm getting sweaty already. Okay, 1 more, that's it. And then hug the knee and lower the head down. So the left side of the body is super awake now. Let's swap over to the right. So just let that leg come down, the left leg come down to the floor, foot flat on the floor. It knows it's safe now, it doesn't need to do any more for a little while. So let's hug the right knee in. Lift the head and the shoulders if your neck is feeling okay. Still, just keep your shoulders slightly away from the ears. Okay, so we're just stretching out first of all and hugging in. Keep that belly lifted in and up, and nothing changes on the left side of the body. Good, keep it going. So enjoy that experience between the reaching long and then the hugging in. You should really start to feel this in your abdominals as we work through. 3 more. And then we're going to add on that lift. Good. Okay, so we hug in, we stretch out, we float up and take it down. There's millions of versions of these exercises. I just like to mix it up every week just so that we don't get bored. Good. Well, so that you don't get bored. I could do the same exercises every week, to be honest. I'm a bit of a routine lover, and I like to do similar things so that I can notice changes in my strength. But to mix it up a bit is good too. Variety is good. Okay, 2 more here. Reach, lift, lower and in. Reach, lift, lower and in. Amazing. Lower down, lower the leg. Whew, I can feel that in my upper abdominals. I'm not sure about you people out there. Hopefully you can too. Okay, so let's just rest our hands down by the side of us for a second and just gather our breath again. Okay, bring the feet in a little bit closer. We're going to go into shoulder bridge now, just to warm up the spine a little. But as always, feet roughly hip distance, a little bit closer to the bottom so you can almost touch the back of your heels. But if that disturbs your knees for any reason, just walk the feet out a little bit further away from your body. Okay, so hands down onto the floor by the side of your hips, give yourself some stability, and then let's exhale and peel the spine away. Just the first couple of these, just going to be nice and simple. So we're going to lift our hips up and then exhale to low down. Good, let's go again. Exhale, peel the spine away. Inhale at the top, and then exhale all the way down. One last time, that simple version, and then I'm going to add on a bit of a twist, which you can do if you want to, or you can stay with that simple version. Okay, so let's come back down and then lift up again. So once we're up there at the top of our shoulder bridge, if you want this variation, follow me. So we're going to lift our right heel, just the right heel, and then we're going to lower down with the heel still lifted. And then we're going to come up with the heel still lifted, and then lower it. Change to the other side. So keep the left heel lifted, peel the spine down, and then peel the spine up, keeping that heel lifted. Good, lower. Let's change sides. Right side again. So this is just challenging our body in a slightly different way. Just move through it slowly. Obviously, if it causes any pain changing to the left, then leave it out. Just keep it simple. So any of these exercises, changing to the right again. If any of them cause any pain or sharp, especially sharp pains, then just stop and take a stretch. They shouldn't do though, but we never know. We're all different. Left heel lifts. This is the last one. Lower down and then lift up. Lower that heel and slowly lower everything down all the way to the floor. Perfect. Let's just hug the knees in. Sometimes the glutes and the back of the body gets a little bit tight, so we're just going to hug the knees in, either rock from side to side, or you can just circle the knees around and then go the other way if you're doing the knee circles. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to do some lower abdominals now. Really nice, slow, steady, focused stuff. And so simple as we can be on this one. I like to keep it simple sometimes just because it does get basic and back to kind of real sort of simple and basic exercise. Okay, so we're going to start off floating our right leg to tabletop, so knee directly above the hip. Lock that knee into place, so notice the angle behind the knee. Lower leg should be fairly relaxed here. Nothing else is going to move, and you're just going to tap down and lift up. Tap down and lift up, using your lower abdominals. So think of your lower abdominals just helping you out here. Now, keeping the head and shoulders down and relaxed. Bring your thumbs to the bottom rib and your fingertips to your hip bones. And then carry on doing the exercise. Now, you shouldn't notice that gap becoming smaller as you lift the leg up. And if you are, it just means that your lower back is working a little bit more than your hip. So just really try and focus on bringing it into the hip, lifting the belly in and up, and relaxing everywhere else. So there might be a tiny movement, but you don't want a huge kind of squashing movement in the middle there. Good. 2 more. And then we're going to try it on the other side. So guarantee most of us will have a difference on both sides, and this is where you're really going to feel it when you're holding these two positions with the thumb and the fingers. So let's try it on the left side, just lifting it up and down. So this is a lot easier for me on my left side. My right side is quite tight. So this feels lovely. Other side didn't feel so great. Okay, so you're exhaling as you lift the knee. So this is the kind of easiest version. We are going to make it a little bit more challenging gradually, but by all means stay with this one if you're feeling it in your lower abdominals, and by that I mean in between your hip bones, so the muscles quite low down in the belly. Okay, let's do 4 more here, and then we're going to start our progression. Keep the thumb and the fingers on the hips and the ribs if you want to really feel this again as we progress. So this time we're going to take our left leg and leave it up there, and then we're going to float our right leg to join it. So now we're making it harder already just by taking our feet off the floor. Now we're going to tap down just the right leg. So you should already notice that this is stepped up a level. I'm getting hotter already. Just by doing the same movement, but from this tabletop position rather than the floor. So we're having to stop ourselves from moving side to side by drawing the belly in and up and keeping everything still. So keeping the back part of the pelvis really steady, weight evenly distributed. Let's swap to the other side. Let's see how we go. Left leg. Again, there it is. This is my favorite. Shouldn't have favorites, should we? But hey, my left side is a lot easier to control. Let's do 3 more. And then as always, there's another progression. We're spending a lot of time on this today, but I think it's a good one to focus on sometimes, just to bring ourselves back to basics, as I said. Okay, so now we're going to alternate. We're going to take right leg down, lift it back up. Left leg down, lift it back up. This is just to confuse the body so that it really can't tell the difference now between favorite sides. This is to help us bring kind of balance to the muscles that have imbalance. So let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Hug the knees in or take a full body stretch, whatever stretch you prefer right now. If a full body stretch feels better, that's all fine too. Okay, so we're going to bring the feet back to the floor. And now we're going to add in a bit of chest lift as well. So as I said earlier, we did these nice circles to mobilize. Now we're going to add it in the arm movements with a chest lift. So we're going to lift our head and our shoulders up using our abdominals, staying in this lifted position, try and relax the legs. And then we're going to take our arms to roughly about kind of hip height to start with. So this is our starting position. It looks like we're doing the hundreds, but we're not quite yet. Chin slightly tucked. Hopefully you can still breathe in this position. Now we're going to take our arms up above the head, around and back. So this is a bit like double leg stretch, but without the legs. So we're inhaling and we're exhaling to sweep. Inhale, exhale to sweep. Good. Try not to move your head. Let's do 4 more. 3. I know it's tough. 2. And 1. Now we're going to try and go the other way now. So we're going to sweep out and back. Out and back. Good. I'm shaking a bit here. Hopefully you are too. Abdominals, that is. 3 more. 2 more. And 1. Good. Okay, lower the head and shoulders down. Let's take our full body stretch and come into roll up, but we're going to be just doing it in a slightly different way today. So not full roll ups. We're going to just do half roll ups and half roll backs. I'm being kind today, although in some ways we're working harder because we're really focusing on these smaller moves. Okay, so full body stretch, take the arms back behind you. Arch the back if you want to, if it feels good, and then lower it down. Okay, so we're going to bring our arms up above our shoulders, taking an inhale. And then as we exhale, we're just going to lift the head up, look down at our feet, and maybe come up, oh, not even halfway. and then just lower down. Let's make it easy to start with, and then we can always progress. So do the same thing. Exhale. Look up towards your feet. You can either point or flex your toes. It's entirely up to you. And then lower back down. So what I want you to just think about here is just kind of curling and releasing the upper part of the spine. So we're not coming into the middle or lower back just yet. The upper back can sometimes be quite tight. So if we're just going to try and focus on this for now, just to get the feeling right. Reach back, exhale again. Now you can come up a little bit higher if you want, but I just suggest to just grab the thighs and just pull yourself up maybe ½ an inch and then lower down. Good, so we're really focusing in now. And the upper abdominals a little bit more too. So let's go again. Exhale, lift, hold the thighs, lift yourself up. Keep that lift as you lower the hands and then peel the spine down. One more time. Lift, hold the thighs, lift yourself a tiny bit higher and then peel down. Excellent. Okay, we're going to roll up to seated or turn on your side to come up to seated. And then we're going to do the other part of the move, which is rolling back from seated. So feet in a comfortable position. They don't have to be flat on the floor. I can't quite get my feet flat on the floor because of an injury. So they don't really do that, but yours might well do. So we're going to sit super tall, hands behind the knees, lifting the belly in and up. So we're going to hold on to the knees for the first part of this, and then we're going to add on and make it a little bit more challenging. So we're going to draw the belly in and up, and then slowly start to curl and tuck the tailbone underneath us. So we're still holding on, but the shoulders are relaxed. Our spine is rounding, and just come back as far as your arms will allow. Keeping the scoop in the belly, we're going to bring the head towards the knees, and then straighten the spine. Let's go again. Exhale. Around the back, tuck the pelvis. Let the hands and the arms fully extend. Keep the round shape as you pull yourself in, head to knees, and then sit tall. 3 more. Exhale back. Round forward. Inhale to straighten. 2 to go. Round coming forward. Straighten 1 more time. And coming up. Okay, so we're going to have a little extra challenge if you want it, or stay with this version. If you want the extra challenge, your arms are going to come out, reaching forwards just to shoulder height or lower. So same thing, we're going to roll back. We're going to roll forwards. And then sit tall. So you haven't got the assistance of using your legs on this one. Just try it. If it feels too much or you're feeling any pain in your lower back, anywhere else, then just go back to the earlier version. If you're feeling good on this one, just a couple of points to think about. Sit tall and roll back. So as you roll back, really try and relax the hips. I know it's hard. My right hip, obviously, as I've already told you, is a little bit tighter, and I can feel it tense up as I roll back. I really consciously have to tell it to relax. Good, keep it going. Let's do 1 more. Exhale, roll. Should be nice and warm now. Rolling forwards and sitting tall. Now, if you want it, let's stretch the legs out. Take a full roll down. We're not coming back up. We will eventually, but we're not just after this. So let's all do this. I think we can all do a full roll down. We'll do it nice and slow and controlled. So I'm going to count 10. Yeah. Normally it's 8, but 10 is going to make it a little bit more challenging. So sit super tall, nice straight spine. Inhale, belly lifts in and up. Exhale, 10, 9. Squeeze the legs together. 8, 7, 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach it back and stretch. That's better. Okay, let's roll onto our side. So a few side exercises for us today. Now we're going to bring our bottom leg to about 90 degrees. So knee and hip in alignment, and then the shin and the leg is kind of at a 90-degree angle. So we're going to lay on our side, hand underneath our head, and then our top leg is stretched out long. So we need to push that hip down and away and try and reach to the opposite side of the room. So this is fully extended here. Should be a little gap underneath your side waist. That's what we want. Hips stacked one on top of the other rather than one rolling back or forwards, as always, nice and well aligned. And then we just lift up and down, nice and simple. If you want a bit extra, you can place your hand on your thigh. That will just give you an extra bit of resistance. Or you can just have your hand on your hip to make sure it stays in alignment, or you can rest your hand on the floor in front. So it's going to start to kind of kick in around about now. I can feel these muscles here already, just going, hey, I'm here. Just reminding you. Okay, so make it slow, not too fast. Exhale as you lift up, and make sure you touch your toes to the floor if you can. That's just going to get an extra stretch on the outside of the hip. Let's do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That was easy, right, wasn't it? Okay, now lower legs time. So we're going to bring the legs together, lay it on your arm just so that you're in a nice straight line to start with. Squeeze the legs together, and then I want you to just lift, so hand resting in front just for balance. Lift the top leg, lift the bottom leg to join it, and then lower them both down. Lift, lift, lower, lift, lift, lower. 5 more. Lift, lift, lower. Keep stretching both legs really long, and keep that belly lifted in and up. You should feel this in the outer top hip, and maybe a little bit in the inner thighs. 2 to go. 1 last time. Good. Now we're going to come up to side bends. So just bring yourself up. Should be one smooth move. Hand underneath shoulder. That's on the floor, or slightly further out, but not too far out. So we're all going to do level 1 version, just because it's going to come into a nice stretch. So knees together, feet together, hips on the floor. We're going to lift up, exhale, lift your hips as high as you can, and reach the arm and the head as if you're trying to touch the floor with your head and your hand, yeah? And then back down. Exhale, inhale, 4 more. Exhale, inhale, good. Lift the hips nice and high. 2 to go. And 1. Good, now we're staying in this position, but you might need to just slightly separate your knees so that you can sit up a little bit. Now everyone's going to be different here, different levels of flexibility. So if you need to move your foot forward, do what you need to do just to make yourself kind of comfortable. I mean, it's not the most comfortable position to sit in, but we want to do a side stretch. So I'm just going to tuck my back foot under slightly because I find that a bit more comfortable, just so that I feel a little bit more like my sit bones are on the floor. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my hand out here onto the floor for balance. My other hand's going to be on my shin when I'm stretching this way. So it's going to pull me down, and then as my hand comes to the floor, the other arm lifts up and over. So we need to imagine that you're in between 2 panes of glass, and you're just moving on this line rather than forward and back. So it's a nice straight line of the body, but you're lifting up and over. Good. So reach up with the hand, keep that length, and then just round the spine. Good. So we're really just coming into a bit of a C shape. And again, this part of the spine and the ribs do get really tight. So the more you do this one, the freer you're going to feel day to day. So this is just a really nice stretch to do whenever you can. Really, you can do it sitting on a chair, at work. Let's just do 1 more, otherwise we're going to get a bit dizzy. On the other way. That's it, really exaggerate that lift up, and then keep the lift as we spin around to the other side. So then that bottom knee comes forward, the top leg reaches out in a nice straight line, and then just find a comfortable position for your neck. Here we lift up and down. Try and point the toes, try and lengthen the leg, belly lifts in and up, hips are stacked. Lots of those things to remember, but once they're in there, you kind of think about them all the time now in all the exercises we do, because the alignment is very similar and the setup's very similar. So once it's in there, it's not going anywhere. Exhale, lift. Good, let's do a few more. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay, then we're going to bring that bottom leg back. Drop the head down on your extended arm. I never give myself enough room and there's always a sofa in the way. Okay, so top leg lifts, bottom leg joins, lower down. Top, lower, and bring them both down. So top leg lifts, bottom leg joins, and they both lower together. Doesn't matter how high you come up with that top leg, as long as your bottom leg can reach it. Let's do 5. Breathe however you need to breathe, but don't hold your breath. 3 to go. 2 and 1. Excellent. Okay, we're coming up to side bend, or I don't know, the name of it's a bit kind of confusing. I call it a side stretch really, but so knees together, feet together. Some fluff on me. Okay, exhale, lift up and side stretch. There's lots of side stretches today, isn't there? Must have gone for a theme here. Okay, lifting up. Lots of stretches in general, which is always good in my book. Up and over. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and then just position yourself. I must have picked my favourite side first because this is my least favourite. Okay, so my right hip's quite tight again, so I just tuck my toe under a little bit just to make myself feel like I can lift up straighter. And then we're going to reach over. Just check to see how it feels. Straighten up and then take it over. So if this does kind of cause a little bit, because it can do, cause a little bit of tension in the hips, just try and lift up out of the hips if you can, rather than just letting the body just collapse. And much better to have a really good alignment and lift and a stretch, even if it's you're not going quite so far, than it is to kind of collapse and stretch in a kind of wrong way. So over time, you're going to create some more mobility and length in the spine here. Over time, you might even notice that you're a bit taller. That's really just from kind of lifting up the muscles and therefore bringing the bones into better alignment rather than actually growing, but hey. You'll look taller. 1 more each side. Excellent. Okay, let's come around onto our front now. And give yourself a little bit of space above your head for your arms, because we're going to do a little bit of arm movement over the head, some swimming moves. Okay, so bring your legs back behind you, roughly hip distance, just keep them relaxed for now. Keep the legs relaxed for now. So belly lifts in and up. Head is just looking down at the floor, so just try and follow my instructions without twisting your head and your neck. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is have our elbows roughly in line with our shoulders, 90-degree angle. And then I want you to just draw your shoulders down into your back pocket. That's automatically going to lift your head slightly off the floor. So we're going to follow through on that by just drawing our head up and coming to a point where our elbows are still on the floor, but we're using our back muscles to lift us. And then just lower down and completely relax. So the shoulders will drop forward at that point. Let's try again. Draw the shoulders back and then just let the spine lift you. Lower, relax shoulders. 1 more like this. Shoulders draw back. It's almost like the shoulders drawing back pinches the muscles and pulls you up. Okay, so you can stay with this, but if you want a little bit more, we're going to do the same thing. So draw shoulders back, lift up, and then use your hands to lift you up. So you are now using your arm muscles, but you're still keeping your shoulders down, so the muscles are still working. As we lower the elbows to the floor and then descend all the way down, relax the shoulders. Let's carry on. 2 more of those. So just a little bigger. Trying to stabilize and strengthen those muscles around the shoulders. Draw them back. Lift up. This feels so nice. And then lower. Release the shoulders. Excellent. Okay, that's swimming I was talking about now. Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to reach our arms forwards, push the palms away, lift the head and the shoulders as you bring the palms to the thighs, and then we slide the hands back up above the head. So push the palms away, and then the palms face the ceiling as you sweep forwards. Lower down. Lift up as you stretch back, and then lower. Good. So it's just a lower and lift, and that semicircle movement with the arms. Coming back to it, but now on our front. So it's a little bit harder because we're lifting our body away from the floor, and what it really wants to do is just relax down and not move at all. But we're going to keep using those back muscles. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now on this last one, we're going to hold the arms back, float the legs up, keep them straight and kick them super fast for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more set. 10, 9. Keep those fingertips reaching down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the legs down. Put your hands underneath your forehead and just shift your hips from side to side just to release the low back. Big breath in and exhale. Okay, hands come under the shoulders. Let's push ourselves back to child's pose one more time. So feet a little bit, feet together, knees a little bit wider, and then either reach arms forward or take arms back. So we got a couple more little exercises to do. And then we're done. So let's practice our plank. I know we all love a plank. Hands towards the end of the mat, fingers spread wide. Start off with your knees underneath hips. Let's make it as easy as we can. I love this version. So it's really easy to get into. We just stretch our right leg back and our left leg back. Then we bring our right knee down and our left knee down. Nothing else changes. Let's try again. Left knee stretch, right knee stretch. Left knee down, right knee down. If you want to hold for a bit longer, let's come into it and hold, or keep going through the step version if you want to. We're going to hold for 20 seconds. If your wrists bother you, you can come down to a forearm plank. Keep it going. Whichever version you're doing, I want you to just tuck your bottom slightly, draw your abdominals in and up. We're halfway. 10 seconds to go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Let's just turn ourselves around so that we're now facing up. So we're going to do a similar thing, but just a little bit kinder. Feet hip distance. Bend the knees. So we're going to come up into a kind of reverse plank, but a little bit of a tabletop version. So we're going to lift our hips up and bring ourselves into a table. So you can have your fingers pointing forwards or back or to the sides, whatever's more comfortable for your shoulders. Holding it up here. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Take a little forward stretch. Okay, we'll do that one more time, but a little bit of a progression. So you can come back into that version, or you can do the straight leg version. So straight leg version, we have 2 options. one leg bends and then the other leg, or you can come up with both legs straight. So you're either doing your box position or this one twice. We'll give you time to do those. We're going to lift up with the hips. So bend the elbows slightly, lift the chest, look up to the ceiling, and then lift the hips. Hold here. So if you're doing your single leg version, you're going to hold for a couple more seconds and then swap now. Otherwise, you're holding in the double leg, keeping those hips lifted in a nice straight line. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Okay, let's bring our bottom forward slightly. Lower ourselves down, either holding behind the knees or reaching out for more challenge. Drawing the belly back. Nice slow roll down. Hug those knees in. Circle them around. One way and then the other. Okay, so we're going to finish with a nice side lying stretch. There's a little bit of work to do first and then we'll stay in the stretch. So the working version is either the feet on the floor or legs in tabletop. Okay, so it's your choice. Arms are out in line with the shoulders. So they're your anchor. They're going to stay nice and strong. So take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, you're just going to take both legs, keep them together, squeeze the knees over to the front of the room. Inhaling and feeling a stretch. So as we exhale, I want you to push down into the floor with the arms. Keep both shoulders down. Bring the legs back to center and then all the way over to the other side. Inhale when you get there. And then exhale to initiate that movement. So hip and ribs come to the floor. Over to the other side. So this is your slightly easier version. I'm just going to go with a harder version just to show you. So feet are off the floor, but they're together. And then they come back to center. Over to the other side. Inhale, stretch. Exhale back through center. Inhale once you're there. Feel that stretch, enjoy the inhale, and then exhale again. So let's do one more each side. No rushing. Slowly building strength and flexibility. Speaking of flexibility, we're going to take those legs back to center and all the way over. We're going to stay in a stretch this time. So take the knees as close to the floor as you can. If you need to lift your shoulder, that's okay at this point, so we're stretching. And then you can just bring the knee slightly over the top or extend that top leg fully. But then just try, if you can, to turn your head the opposite direction. So you should feel a stretch on the outer part of the hip, the lower back. Maybe a little bit down the leg as well if you've got that leg extended. And just now let the muscles and the body just melt into the mat. Just make it really passive and easy and gentle. Take a couple of big inhales and exhales. And then slowly come back through the center. Use your hands if you need to. Bring those legs over to the other side. Extend the leg. Grab the foot if you can. And then turn the head the opposite way if you want a bit more. So 2 really nice big deep breaths here. So you're going to feel the stretch wherever you need it. Just try and relax the body as much as you can. And then just let the leg go. Turn onto your side. And we're out of time again. I'm sorry, we started a bit late today, so we had problems with Zoom. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the class. Hope you're feeling a little bit better. I don't feel quite as hot now, which is weird because I was really hot before the class. But thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next week, either on Zoom or Facebook Live. Have a great week and see you soon. Let me know if you've got any questions or comments or requests for next week.
you guys.